Hi, I'm Gail Sokol, and on today's show, we're going to be discussing the magnificent mango.
Welcome to Baking Radio. Learn the art and science of baking with author, educator, and award-winning chef, Gail Sokol. Whether you've been baking your whole life or you're brand new to the world of baking and you're looking to build your confidence and learn new skills in the kitchen, you're in the right place. This is Baking Radio.
So today I thought we'd talk about the mango. And I've realized over the past couple of years, I have an obsession with mango. I buy them all the time. I love them. I'm looking for how ripe they are, how they taste, which are my favorite mangoes. And they're really an incredible fruit. And they're very versatile, especially for the baker. You never thought about it, but they're sort of cool. They're sort of cool. So pay attention. So, like I said, over the past few years, I had this love affair with them. I love to cook with them. I love to make salsas with them and serve them with like fish and certain meats. But I also like to make them into things like mango sorbet, slicing them over a fruit tart that I've put a custard on and topping them over that custard. And even adding so much color and flavor to that tart because of their bright yellow color, almost orangey color, depending on what type of mango you have. And I'm going to give you a fabulous, easy, no-cook sauce to serve over desserts of all types, and even to paint a dessert plate with. Mangoes do not require any fuss. No cooking, no heating is necessary to make them taste wonderful. They just already are wonderful. So let me give you a little background of the mango. The mango is actually native to Southern Asia, and it's found originally in Myanmar and Eastern India. And then it was introduced many, many years ago to California, and in Santa Barbara specifically in 1880 for the specific year. And now it's actually grown all over the world. So obviously I'm not the only one that thinks the mango is pretty magnificent. There are many types as well, which I'm not going to get into. But the mango is valued for its flavor and its gorgeous color. If you want to pop a color in something, add a mango. I'm not kidding. It's spectacular in color. If you've never had one, you must buy one and try one. Go to your grocery store because they're always there. So believe it or not, it's almost no fat, right? Most fruits are almost no fat, but there is no fat in a mango, and it's sodium free. Already, it's batting 1,000, right? It's great. It's very high in vitamins. And listen to this. I didn't even know this, and I'm so glad because I eat a lot of mango, so I must be getting a lot of this vitamin. Mangoes have more vitamin C than an orange. Isn't that cool? Not to mention, they contain potassium and folate. Folate's a B vitamin, and it's super important. So the ripeness of a mango. How do you know if your mango is the perfect mango for you and it's perfectly ripe for you to take it home? I love feeling mangoes. If you ever see me in the grocery store, I'm always feeling the mangoes to see if they're ripe. If I want to make mango sorbet or mango sauce, I want a very ripe mango. So that mango should really give to my squeeze, my light squeeze. And it really should give a little bit and feel like I could put my fingerprint in it almost. If I want to add slices of a mango to a fruit tart, I want a less ripe mango because I want it to hold its shape and have some structure. So to tell the ripeness of a mango, pick it up and feel it. If it's rock hard, it's not ripe. But it will be in a few days. So if you're not going to make your fruit tart for a couple of days, get that mango. It will ripen very, very quickly. And remember, the riper the mango, the sweeter the fruit will be. Guaranteed. All right, so how should you cut up a mango? This is probably the most complicated part of the mango. How do you cut the darn thing? Because it's a very odd shape. It's not round. It's not square. It's really ovoid in shape. It's sort of weirdly oval and elliptical at the same time. And it's not quite a football shape, but it's odd. It's just odd, right? It's the oddball of the fruit world. And it even has a very weirdly shaped pit inside. So when you cut a mango, you have to always be aware that there's the pit somewhere in this mango. So be sure to cut a mango on a cutting board safely, because once you get that peel off, they are slippery suckers. So there are a few ways to go about cutting it up, but I'm going to show you both ways. But I like to cut off the top and bottom first and place it on one of the flat sides. So now I have a flat surface and it's a little less cumbersome. And I use a paring knife. So I stand it up so that it's sort of standing up straight on its long side with the bottom cut off, a little bit of the bottom cut off so it's flat. And I slice as close to the peel as possible from top to bottom. And I keep doing this as I rotate the mango. So the peel sort of cuts away. You can also use a vegetable peeler if you want to do this as well. Then I look to see where the very weird shaped pit is and where it's situated. And then I slice through on the flatter part of the mango until it's almost cut in half, but the pit isn't in the center. The pit is not in the center. So you have to cut a little bit off center and avoid that pit. So then I place the big slice that I've gotten on the cutting board, and I can make thin slices to add on top of a fruit tart, or I can make little cubes. I can put them into a food processor or on top of a fruit salad or into a salsa, whatever I want to do. Or I can puree them if it's a ripe mango and make a sauce. So another way to cut up a mango is creating cubes, but it doesn't peel it. It just slices off a large piece as close to the pit as possible. And then so in other words, I don't peel it. I just cut straight through on the off center to cut a hunk off with the peel on it. And then with a small sharp knife, a paring knife, I score it in a crosshatch fashion, just sort of crisscross it. And then I invert it and open it up so that the peel almost goes on the inside and it forces the fruit to the outside. And you can see those cross hatchings, those little cubes come forward. And you can either just bite them off it like that and serve it like on a fruit board, a fruit platter or whatever like that. So each guest can just take it, or you could serve it on the side of a fruit dessert. But if you want, you can at that point take a paring knife and just cut against the peel and cut those cubes off. So a lot of people do it like that. Then it's instantly cubed, but you can't make slices that way. That's the only problem. So I find this second method sort of a fun way to serve guests if you want. Some people will eat the skin if it's organic. Some people say don't eat the skin. It's controversial. You do what you want. For the most part, you should really scrub your mango and try to buy organic if you can. So I'm not going to admit something bad to you, but I will make a confession. And I'm really not proud of it. But if you're ever with me when I'm cutting up a mango, and there's a little flesh left along the pit, and there will be, when no one's around, and I am doing this in the privacy of my own kitchen, my favorite thing to do is to take that pit and suck on it and nibble the remainder of the meat off of that mango. I love to chew on that pit and get the last bit of flesh off of it. It's so good. And it's juicy, and you will see it is a delicious thing. It's sort of like chewing on a chicken bone. This is sort of like my little vice that I love to do. So I have a unique recipe for you. It's not a typical mango recipe, but then again, a mango is so magnificent, it's not typical. It's simple, it's delicious. It's basically strawberry shortcake recipe with a mango sauce. It's a little different. So I'm going to read you the recipe. And it starts by making 6 shortcakes. So you're going to make a shortcake, which is really sort of a scone. All right. So it's a super easy recipe. So you're going to preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And in a medium bowl, you're going to whisk together 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of salt. And you're going to whisk that together. Then you're going to use a pastry blender. Remember, we make that when we use our flaky pie crust method. When we want to make a flaky pie crust, we want to cut our butter in, and we use that. It's got the handle with the loops of wire around it. So we use our pastry blender. If you don't have one, don't worry. Just use a fork and a knife to cut about 8 tablespoons of cold, unsalted butter that you've already cut into small cubes. Just throw that into the dry ingredients and cut in with your pastry blender until the dry ingredients become pea-sized. So you want the butter to be pea-sized, the size of the little vegetable peas. So we're not going to mix it in too much because this will create some flakiness when it goes into the oven. So once you have done that and the butter is pea-sized, you want to, using a large spoon, you want to blend in 1 cup of whole milk. And I do recommend you use whole milk. You could use skim milk or a different type of milk, almond milk or whatever, but the whole milk will give it some richness. So you want to blend in 1 cup of whole milk just until a dough forms. You don't want to overmix or you will develop gluten. And we don't want a tough shortcake. And then on a sheet pan covered with parchment paper, you're going to drop 6 blobs or 6 spoonfuls of this dough, leaving a space between each. So there are your 6 shortcakes. And these are drop shortcakes. So you're not going to cut them out. It's a thinner batter. It's like a drop batter. And then you're going to sprinkle 2 tablespoons of sugar. You're going to take 2 tablespoons total of sugar, granulated sugar, and just sprinkle them randomly over the shortcakes to give them a little glistening and a little browning and caramelization on the top. And then you're going to bake them for 25 to 35 minutes. They should get nice and brown. And then take them out of the oven and cool them. Now, while we're waiting for our shortcakes to bake, we're going to make a strawberry filling. Super easy. And if you don't want to use strawberries, use any berry you want or a combination. I like to take 4 cups of fresh strawberries that have been washed, hulled, and sliced, and then I put them into a bowl. And then I add 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar and a teaspoon of fresh lemon juice and stir them really nicely. And if you want, you can make this about an hour in advance, put it in the refrigerator, and you will see osmosis at work. So this is where we talk about the strawberry being mostly water, because that's what fruits are, mostly water. And by the sugar on the outside of the strawberry and through the process of osmosis, water will tend to flow from a higher concentration of itself to a lower concentration through the strawberry's semi-permeable membrane in its structure. So you'll see the water pulling out. You won't see it, but it will be happening because in an hour, you'll have a strawberry sauce. You'll have your sliced strawberries and you'll have some liquid, some sweet liquid with some strawberry juice and your sugar and a little piquant flavor with the lemon juice. And that'll be a beautiful filling for our strawberry shortcakes. So that's super easy. Again, you can use half strawberries, half blackberries, blueberries, whatever you want. Next, we're going to make a mango sauce. Again, super easy. You're going to take 2 mangoes and you want them to be ripe. So when you squeeze them, they should give a little. You want to peel them and cut as much flesh off of the fruit as you can, off of the pit as you can. Cut them into small cubes. And then you want to put it into the food processor or even a blender. And you want to add 1 tablespoon of fresh lime juice. I love the combination of lime and mango. And then add the zest of that lime. So you want to probably zest it first, then add your 1 tablespoon of fresh lime juice. And then puree it until it's almost smooth. If there's a few clumps of mango pieces, that's fine. And pour it into a bowl. And you'll have it. That is your mango sauce. It's super simple, right? Now, what you want to do is to assemble your strawberry shortcakes with mango sauce. You're going to split each biscuit in half crosswise, and you're going to place the bottom half onto a dessert plate. And you're going to do this with each one. Then you're going to take some sweetened whipped cream. We've had a previous show on how to make whipped cream. Just a cup of heavy cream or a couple of cups of whipped cream or heavy cream if you like a lot. And you're going to put it in your electric mixer, and you're going to use your whip attachment on high speed, and you're going to add a couple tablespoons of confectioner's sugar and a little bit of vanilla until their stiff peaks form. And then you have whipped cream. Super easy. So you're going to place a dollop of whipped cream on the bottom of each biscuit. You're going to put some strawberry filling onto the top of that and add some of the sauce as well. And then some mango sauce. All right. So you're going to see the red from the strawberries and the beautiful yellow orangey color from the mango sauce. It's going to be so colorful. And then you're going to cover the whole thing with the top half of the biscuit and then dust the whole thing with confectioner's sugar by putting it through a little sieve or even a sugar duster and serve it at once. And there you have your strawberry shortcakes with mango sauce. It's a fabulous recipe, fabulous way to use the magnificent mango. So if you've enjoyed the episode today, hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to leave a review, I would greatly appreciate it. If you haven't picked up a copy of my most recent book, Baking with Success, it's available on Amazon and in bookshops worldwide. If you have any questions, please head on over to bakingradio.com and leave me a message. I would love to answer some of your questions on air. And on the next show, we're going to be discussing how to lighten things up